Kemp here for another week on the podcast. Sadly, we are without Ryan, and sadder, we are with Jose. Jose, how are you?
Finally, how are
I'm
you?
good, thanks. I'm good. Are you live on the TikTok?
I am live on the
Better say
TikTok
hello
now.
to
We've
the
got Blue,
people on there too.
yeah, on the TikTok got Bluebell on Minecraft joined, so that was quite cool.
Love it.
Yeah,
So, if you want to get involved, Jose Noya-Inspiration, stick it in your Google machine. YouTube and TikTok are his favourite places to be. Right, Jose, you are the man with a plan this week. So, what are we talking about?
okay. I'm going to just say the quote. So here we go. Motivation often increases after you begin. The lesson is not to wish you had more motivation, but to make a start as easy as possible. Did you get that?
I did.
You're typing it, aren't you?
I am.
That are you GPTing it?
No, I'm not. I'm just googling it. Who said this? Oh, this is a James Clear, is it? Is this a James
Yeah,
Clear?
look at
Yes.
you. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, it's really cool. I love this quote. Shall I just throw it over? Because I think this is quite a nice one. Have you
Well, I
got any
would
thoughts, or
expect
do you want me
nothing
to just?
less from you than to throw it
Yeah, well,
over.
you know me. Ryan usually goes on about this a lot,
He
and I
does.
just throw the ball over.
So motivation
Is that?
often increases after you begin. Is the crux there, isn't it? And just get started. I
Yeah.
find this. So I got a little project I'm working on for myself, and I had this past weekend, a bit longer than a weekend, but I had a significant amount of time to kill in an airport over 2 days. And I was like, I'll take my laptop with me and I'll do a little bit of work myself. And particularly on the first day, I had a very early start. I had to get up at like 4:30 or something. No, it wasn't. It's 3:30. I had to be at the airport for 4:30. It was an early start, shall we say. And then I got the airport and actually I was like, oh, this feels like I've got a lot of work to do, even though it's something I do for myself. And I just had that, and I actually went for a little walk first to kind of, I'd say, get my steps and get the energy. But I think it was just putting off. Oh, okay, I've got like 4 hours
Yeah.
to kill, and I'm going to do this and this and this and this and this.
Yeah.
And then actually got myself a coffee and a couple of sausage rolls from Greg's Breakfast of Champions. Other sausage rolls are available. Got the laptop out, started working away, and then once I started, I was well away. And in fact, it got to the point where I was like, "Oh man, I've only got half an hour left." And my head's like, oh, I can do this and this and this, and a little bit of the same on the few days later. I had the same situation, and had that same feeling of, oh, there's a lot to do, a bit less than before. But again, once I got going and once I was in the flow, and I was using my, break it all down into steps thing, I was going. So 100%. Once I metaphorically put pen to paper, my motivation just went through the roof once I start going. But it's that first step, isn't it? It's always that first step on anything. Is that hardest one to take? And this wasn't even the first step. I was picking up something I was already doing, but it was just that first bit of getting going and that apprehension, I guess. But then, absolutely, once I started, the motivation kind of built. It's like a cumulative effect, I think. So I absolutely lived that in the past week.
I love that you've chosen that personal story because I think that's where it is because that's exactly how I feel. And I was using it today actually. I knew I had my list to do today at work. And what I tend to do, I do the Pomodoro technique. I do something quite intense, and I'll take a 5 minute, and I do something intense when I'm not coaching in between when I'm doing say my admin. I have to write up notes because that's the bit I really don't like is the writing, it's the typing. So I literally what I do is have a coaching session, then I take a 5 minute, then I come back and do it. But I know that as I mentioned towards that fourth minute, I'm coming back and going, oh, I'm not sure if I want to type this, and then as I'm typing, I'm right into it, and then going, want a bit of a roll, like you said. It's all that first step. It's trying to
Yeah,
challenge your mind to get past that first step because once you're in it, you're then focused. I find myself getting the flow, they call it, don't they? Where you just are fully focused. And you sound a little bit like me, Lee. Once you start, I work in bursts. So I do bursts and then I have to step back. I burst and come back. I can be really intense for a lot of time, but I can't keep it up forever. It has to.
yeah,
It's not really sustain. It's just that level of focus is not really sustainable. So I have to do bursts, and that's how I do it. And there was a lovely another quote that I was looking up today about that, where I want to incorporate this where you start something, but I want to pace myself a little bit more because I'm intense. I'm really intense. But I think if we can just still be intense, but slow down a little bit, but make it like a marathon runner where you just jog rather than sprinting. And then that means you can elongate it. Sometimes I work for a long time without that 5 minute, but it just depends. And I do like to be intentional because of my energy levels. And that's what I mean. I think I want to focus more on just being pacing myself and just like being in the moment, like you talk, Lee, when you talk about eating in the moment, you know, when you were talking about that episode where you just like take your time, being in the moment, because sometimes you're so focused, just cracking on, you do. And I think I would like to try and incorporate that because I think that would just help me be even more productive. I think I'm productive now, but I think it would add an extra little bit of edge where I could maybe go beyond 30 minutes to 40 minutes because I'm pacing myself rather than trying to smack it out of the park. And that's where I sit with it really. And when I coach people as well, this is something I've started doing in my coaching. Well, lots of people are joining. I don't know if you see on. I don't know, are you on the TikToker?
I'm going to get on now.
I don't know. I'm calling it TikToker. I've got no idea.
That's because I think that's because I said it earlier.
Might be. Oh, and Ryan last week. That was hilarious, by the way. Sorry, Ryan, if you're watching this back. He probably won't watch it back, but
I'm glad that's continued.
that was hilarious, by the way. I've gone off topic a little bit. Topic a little bit. I am frazzled today. I'm telling you.
I can hear.
The other thing I do in my coaching is I used to say in my coaching because I primarily use grow coaching. So goal, reality, options, and I've explained it before in one of my other podcasts. I think I have explained. I think I did a solo episode and I explained it. It's in there somewhere, I think, in the archive. And when I come to the steps setting, which is the will or the way forward in the grow model, I used to say this. We say, okay, when are you going to do that by? Almost emphasizing that it's going to be completed by that day. I've changed that now because of this particular, not particularly this quote, but I've been using it because I think getting started is the important bit. So I say, when are you going to start that? Not finish it, when are you going to start? And what's the smallest thing you can do to get started? And it always gets back to that time when we were together. Do you remember we was building something at your place of work when we were together? We had this really big picture thing, didn't we? And it was just about breaking it all down into small steps. And this is a James Clear thing, is what is the absolutely smallest thing to get started, just to get the ball rolling? And once you're rolling, and then it just starts to evolve, doesn't it? And that's the thing I really am keen on my coaching is don't, still have a big goal or whatever, but just dial it back to a start date rather than a completion date. I think it's okay to completion date, but to get started is the most important, more important than completion. I think just starting and then planning and then, aiming for a finish line. I do have to have both. In fact, my leader this week said to me, Jose, I need you to do this plan, a coaching plan. And I went, okay. And he just left it open. And I went, I can't do this. I've got to tell you, I have to set myself a target date. So I set myself a target date of the end of the week. Otherwise, it just wouldn't get done by that time. So again, and then I used that technique just to get started. I got it done. It was tight, but it got done. So that's just really a couple of examples where I think this comes into play. But over to you, Lee.
There's a phrase that comes to mind.
Sorry?
What you said there. There's a phrase.
A phrase?
Comes to mind.
Okay.
Yes.
Love it.
Which is slow is steady and steady is fast. Which I really believe in is exactly the case.
Yeah. So where did you get that from? Where did it get born? Was that one of yours? Is it?
So the first place I heard it was on a TV show. It was on Modern Family, but then I've heard it a couple of other places still. I mean, it all comes from comedy and cartoons. Everything I've got.
I love it.
But you can see that in what you said there, and it's a pacing thing. And I am the same as you. I'm a burst worker, so I had today what I'd call a paperwork day. I don't have many of those. Normally, days are filled with virtual meetings and stuff like that. But I had a couple of people off today, so it was mostly right. Let's get that writing down bit done. I'm the same as you. That I'll do rather than kind of structure my day. You start, have a break after a couple of hours, more work, lunch. Mine is it's solid through. There isn't a distinguished lunch break in the middle of it, but what it'll be is 45 minutes and literally go and walk downstairs, make a coffee, come back up, or go down, walk to the end of the garden, come back, go down, get the wash. All these little 5-minute breaks. Yeah. But I'm the same as I just need that. You have that burst of work, And I say burst, it's not like it's a really intense rush, but it's like, right, I know what I'm doing, I'm going to get it. You get it done, and then almost decompartmentalize that for 2 minutes, come back, right, the next thing I'm going to do, and it might be one big thing or half of a big thing or three small things, but in these chunks of work. And I definitely work better in that same way. I'm definitely in that kind of burst work when it's thinking work, if you like, when you're being creative in
Yeah.
whatever way. That's definitely the way to do it, so you don't burn out going through those sections like that. So I follow that same thing, and again, it's the motivation bit that you get into something, but then your energy level suffers, and then you just take that. It can be 2 minutes and then restart, and it's probably like a graph going up and down, up and down, up and down throughout the day, keeping that going. But it definitely varies. It is once you get going, you get into it, and actually, it's lots of little ticks then during the day, because it's like, all right, I've done that,
Yeah.
I've done that, I've done. And sometimes it's a big thing where it's like, oh, that was good. I'm really glad I got that done. That was a really good bit of work. Or it can be 10 small things, but you keep that kind of. I'm definitely computer games where you have a task list and you tick them off. Definitely is that sort of thing that works for me, and it's the same in that work bit. Is you can start to see I've completed, and like exactly like you referenced earlier, when it's a bigger thing, you break it down into those smaller chunks of activity, and you get. So someone years ago who said to me, "Don't do a to-do list, do a done list." Now, actually, in reality, you need to do both. You've got a plan where it is, like you've said, and I love the get started thing, but you do need a deadline. That's that creates your necessity to do work, but you've also got to look down a mountain, as I've heard it people call before as well. So I think that combination of tick, 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 endorphin rush, and a goal to be working towards is a really great way to build up. It's almost like multi-layered motivation, isn't it, in a way?
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's funny you say about a tick list. I tend to do this something on Outlook, and I have these tasks that I list, but I use the Covey matrix in my mind. Where is it urgent, important? Is it do now, or is it start planning? A lot of stuff is planning. Loads of it's planning. There's hardly
Yeah,
anything in my world. I don't know about yours, but my world is not. Oh, I've got to do it now. It used to be when I was a leader. I used to cram everything into that urgent important box. I used to feel quite frantic. So you're just jumping around like I don't know, jumping around like a crazy person. And I wonder, it gets to you if you do that, can really burn you out. And what I've started doing, I've got my Outlook, and I know this might be useful to the audience, is I like putting a smiley face when I've done it. I'll put the order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So it could be like it's a list of all the stuff, but what I'll do is I'll actually order it in priority. So which one is the most important? I'll do that one first, then I'll do the next one, then I'll do the next one, and it really works well. And then I put a smiley face when I've done it, and that works for me, right? Because if I look at insights, you can probably guess that I'm yellow, i.e. the storyteller, all that sort of lovely stuff. So that's what works for me, and I used it today to get through. And it's really productive. I did coaching and I did the admin, and I did an email to my cohort around some strategic things we needed to do as a group, and it worked really well, and I was really productive. So that really worked well. Yeah, and I think that whole thing, and having coached for a long time, there is an issue with. I find there's a pattern with people is that people say, "Oh, I'll just wait for the right moment to start." Well, there's never a right moment. If you don't start, you won't. So really, what I tend to do with people when I coach is, well, okay, what does your day look like? Where's your plan for your days and your weeks? Because that will really drive all your outcomes, and that's what I really work on with people. It's funny because with the book author work at the moment, that was the key, was just providing a daily structure. Like at work, we have meetings, right? You have meetings and you can plan it, but when you're not in that sort of corporate structured environment, then it becomes very easy to become distracted. And I might go for a coffee, and it's really interesting having that conversation, because those are the things that are starting to happen. So my job as the coach was to say, well, okay, what's the day of the plan look like? Your job is a writer. So what does a writer do daily? They write every day. They have planning time. They have reflection time. They have maybe a bit of time to meditate or something, to get creative or whatever. But what it is, there must be activity in that day to have a structure, so then you can get the outcomes you want. And in fact, we did set a deadline together. They've got to complete this manuscript by the end of the year, and we've led, that's now a hard set, because there have been a couple of times where we've needed to reset. But it's really interesting because the failing of not completing has really hit home to say this is something that must be completed. So it's been a really good learning
Really
curve.
emphasised
And that's
the purpose of that
that
deadline. Yeah.
yeah, and that's the beauty of the daily structure and actually just getting started. Inspiration or motivation will not strike you just by chance. You have to create it. And the only way you create it is by what we're doing. We're not perfect. Of course, there's times when I just want to procrastinate as well, like I don't want to do it. But the only time it happens is not, it doesn't go, oh, I'm going to feel motivated and do it. You know, the only thing that might happen is you watch a video, but you're still doing something, right? There's something you're doing that creates it. So I think it's really important that people don't just wait, that you actually do it. You just do it, even when you don't even feel like it. That's one I'm really keen on. Do it even if you don't feel like it, because what you said, Lee, and what I've experienced is once you start, you build momentum, and that's what keeps the motivation going. And that's why I think going back to this increase, the lesson is just get started. And again, just to get going, it just increases, like that, increases after you begin. And that's the key.
Absolutely.
That's where I'm with it.
Absolutely agree.
I was just going to see whether we got any. Oh, I haven't seen any of my usuals in my chat.
It's because we're on a Friday.
Who's
this
here?
is
Ask
why,
some questions.
days.
Yeah, maybe it's a different day. That's right. Anyway, just looking. But Lee, any last things from you? Like any sort of things from you on this?
No, it's been a bit like we talked about earlier. It's been a bit of a different week for me because I had a few things, different activities. There's been a fair bit of travelling and a few late nights involved. So motivation's definitely been different for me this week. It's so funny you talk about this because it's definitely been on my mind this week, and kind of each, trying to be, to Nick Weathering, trying to be purposeful each day. I've gone into each day really clear, right, I'm going to get, this done, I'm going to get this done. What's my 1, 2, 3 on my list, and really pushing to keep myself focused. And I think once I'm in it and I'm rolling, it takes care of itself, if you like, but it ruined the risk of me procrastinating, which there's a higher risk of when your kind of energy levels are being sapped elsewhere. So I've just used a few techniques that definitely things I've kind of built up through years of us having these conversations and doing this week. So just a timely conversation, I would say.
Yeah, and another thing I'd say is just be careful of things that try and push you off course, because sometimes someone might try and call you or put in a meeting. Protect your time. In fact, I had to do that today. I had to do it today. Someone scheduled a meeting over my lunchtime, and I said politely, I don't do lunchtimes. I protect that time, because if I let that happen, guess what's going to happen? People are going to just bombard my lunchtime, and I'm not going to get that space. And for me to coach effectively, I need that time to recharge and reset, because coaching is really energy intensive. So I explained it to them in a kind way that, reschedule that, please. Because, so it's that sort of thing that I think we need to be careful of, because that can also stop you from being motivated, because then you might even go to that meeting because it's part of the procrastination procedure. Just, I'll go to that rather than attack the big thing. We can do that. I've done it. Oh, that's all right. I'll do that now, because now I can post that. But then that becomes another challenge, because now you've got to do it somewhere else, and then your week becomes compressed. Yeah, we like that.
Look at you putting it
Anything
into
else,
practice. That's what I like to see. Now I'm going to ask you.
Yeah, I think we are, aren't we? I mean, we are. We're not. I'm definitely not perfect, but I think it's important that everybody just starts. Please, just start. Oh, Meg's in the house. Hey, Meg. Hey, my child's in the house.
Love it.
Appreciate you.
Previous.
Oh, give me 3
podcast.
stars. Where's the 5 stars? Only 3 stars. What's 3? 5. Come on. 10 stars. In fact, it should be.
You got to earn it.
Love that.
You got to earn it, Jose.
We're not earning it. I think we're earning it, Lee.
I'm earning it.
I've got a question for you, though. Have you got any more thoughts? But I've got a question for you after your thoughts. If you have any final ones.
No, not in. Look, Meg just stepped it up there for you. Look at you.
Yes, Meg.
Guilt stars, I would say they are. Guilt stars.
Oh, basically, Frizz was asking, how... Oh, no, here we go. Oh, no. Okay, how are you, Podcast boys? Podcast boys, Frizz was asking. We're good.
Very
Ham.
good.
Hello, Ham. I'm just going to say Ham. Ham has been a regular in the show as well. I'm not going to say any more than that, other than I have had to give them a little warning.
But
thank you for coming back, Ham. They come back, so it's good.
Some regulars in the house on a Friday. Look at that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the word means. If you on TikTok, can you see it? I don't know what that actually means. I'm afraid to say it. Can you see it? I don't know what that actually means. Does it mean something? Anyway.
No,
No.
I'm going to leave that one there. I don't think there's an
Yeah, so
issue.
am I.
Anyway,
Right, Lee, have you
you
got
had a
any?
question for me. You had a
Yeah.
question for
Oh,
me.
well, before that, have you got any thoughts? I
No, no,
actually
no.
just
I
dived.
mean, it's just a good reminder on motivation. I like it. A good conversation. So nothing additional.
Was just say, don't say it, just in case. We've learned, haven't we, Lee, for the podcast? Yeah, we've got. Oh, there's some episodes. If you listen back in the podcast, and things we've said, we've got. Oh, crap, we said that because people have caught us out. So there, it's interesting. Yes. So the question for you is this: how is your cross training going?
Ah, good question. I'm glad you asked. So I was going to get back it on Wednesday. I didn't. I was to give you the full background on the
Yeah.
story for days. I had a round trip to one end of the country and back on Thursday. I then spent the entire Friday prepping for a Halloween party we did here. I'll show you my pictures after this. I had Shaun of the Dead. It
I
was a
bet
great
it's gonna be
outfit.
awesome.
I had a weekend with the kids. And well, that included Sunday of another round trip to the back end of the country and not. I then went out after work to a networking thing on Monday. I was in a conference all day Tuesday where I was speaking, and I was dead on my feet Wednesday. So full day of work, and I didn't. What did I do? I think I had to put a load of stuff away in the house. I'd go up in the loft, I think. I was out again yesterday, and today I had the option. I had 30 minutes between work and this, and I actually stayed on and did a little bit more for 15 minutes to make my Monday easier. But I'm actually going to do it over the weekend instead, which normally wasn't what I do. So I kind of deferred it off, but I haven't given up on it in my head, even though I haven't done it yet. So I want you to keep asking me that question because I want to get back on it.
I will do. I think that's the whole thing. Again, go back to this motivation quote, isn't it? Is keeping it on the radar and just keep doing little
Yeah,
bits,
it's been an
which you're
odd
doing.
week this week that wouldn't normally
Yeah,
happen. So
but that's the whole thing, isn't it? That's what I love about what you said is that I'm just going to get back on the weekend, and that's a James Clear strategy right there. Is just don't if you don't do it for a bit, go back on it as soon as you can.
that's it. Get back
That's
on the
the
horse.
perfect strategy. I love that. Yeah, I would ask Ryan about how he's getting on with his walking machine thing he's got, but he's not here. Ryan, if you're listening to this, how are you getting on with your walking machine
Yeah,
thing? He's
we
doing
need
your
to know.
steps. I'm
We
asking.
need to know.
Yeah, we need to know. Any final takeaways, Lee, from you on this one?
Um, you said something I really liked. You said both inspiration and motivation won't happen by themselves. You have to create them, and I'm putting that in my mind so that when I'm having that procrastination moment, I'm like, no, it's on me. I've got the skills to build my motivation and do it, and I'm just gonna really cement that in my head.
Yeah, mine's very similar to yours. Exactly the same thing. That if I do feel inspired, then I need to act on it straight away. This is why
Oh
this
yeah,
exists
that's
behind me.
good.
That I need to act on it. So sometimes I'll watch something and oh, that was good. And in fact, I went on a walk just as an interesting thing. I went on a walk and I had this idea about sending this email to my cohort at work. And what I did when inspiration struck me, and hey, look, I am trying to practice what I preach here. I got my phone out and put it into my phone, and that was Monday. The email's gone out today. I actually put because I'd know what had happened if I didn't act on inspiration. I would forget, and I've
Yeah,
had that happen so many times where I've had to come up with great bass lines when I used to play bass. I've come up with great ideas, and I've forgotten what it is. So my lesson for myself is when you think of it, Jose, please just write it somewhere, do something with
do
it, so
it.
then I can come back to it. Yeah, do it. So that I've learnt my lesson from that, but that's why I'm going to keep trying. These walks that I go on each morning really have helped. That's where it is. So just one thing I want to just leave for the audience is the question is for TikTok and the audience listening and watching on YouTube is how are you going to start? How are you going to start your inspiration and your motivation, even when you don't feel like it? Question mark. Put it in the comments below. Send us a message. There you go. You can do
Absolutely.
your
Love it.
filling if you
Good
want.
stuff. Yes, if you like what we're doing, support, tell friends, tell family, get people to listen. That is the most important thing for us. Head over to inspirationation.org.uk for a full archive, little merch shop over there as well. And Jose Noya, just put Jose Noya Inspiration Nation. I'll spell that for you later into your Google machine. And check out particularly YouTube, TikTok. Noticed a bit more Facebook/Instagram going on as well, Jose. You're a bit
Yes,
all
there
over the
is.
place. So follow him
Yeah.
everywhere and you will get your daily doses of inspiration as they come to you. All that's left
Yes.
to do, I'll count us down. I'll say three, two, one.
Go on.
Inspiration Nation.
Nation.
Catch you guys later.
Catch you guys later. I've copied you then.
There you go. You went into it.